So in paragraph 8, the sentence that said anything short of full debt forgiveness would be a brutal form of economic punishment to people already suffering. I thought the tone he was trying to establish was, I chose 3 of these words because I feel like sharp, serious, and angry all like tie into each other, and I think that's what he was trying to show in that.
So why don't you pick sharp?
Sharp, serious, and angry for that one.
Sharp, serious, and angry. A lot of times the words have different degrees of the same word. You kind of group them together, but you have to figure out which degree it is. Very good. All right.
Right.
You want to give an example of something sharp in that, or angry?
In the sentence or the
Yeah.
paragraph?
Yeah, in the paragraph.
In the paragraph? Oh, I don't know. I don't have another one.
Like tone is a hard thing to get down. It might be something that he says. It might be a sentence.
In this paragraph.
My God, look at the title of the essay. What is the title of the essay?
Oh, this is okay. In the title of the essay, the part where it says now.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Another word. Can I use another word other than those?
Yeah.
That makes me think of urgent. The now part, when he says now, makes me think.
Does he go like this? Now. They go now. Which one do you think?
Sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. Then you can pick. Maria.
Paragraph 2, in between this in between sentences, he says, "We rejoice when the first package of $5 billion in aid was approved by Congress, but the Congress also included a 20% import tax on foreign jurisdictions, and since Puerto Rico is considered one, this destroyed, or not destroyed, but weakened their already fragile economy. So I think he conveys a sad and somber tone in that, because when the people found out they were gonna get aid, but the government already took away a lot of their money, they couldn't get as much as they were supposed to, and it didn't really help them as much as they wanted to.
Absolutely. They give them a gift and then they tax them on the gift.
Okay, so in paragraph 1, I think that, his tone, what he's trying to demonstrate is kind of an upset and emotional tone, because he talks about how his uncle hasn't had electricity for a long time, and then he explains what it's been for the past 84 days, things that we take for granted usually. They're struggling a lot, and thousands of homes were destroyed and everything. So basically he's a devastated, kind of emotional and upset tone in that first few paragraphs.
Very good. So we're getting upset, we're getting sharp, angry, we're getting sad, different ways. Ariela.
I agree with him. I believe that throughout the article you can see a various amount of tones that are conveyed. You see him angry, upset, you see him in a somber mood, and I think that all leads to the main idea of it being a call to action. He uses, as Julia was stating, a personal experience and personal family members to make it more emotional, and to why it is necessary for the Puerto Ricans to receive aid. And as Maria was saying, in the article, it mentions the Ricky Martin song that Manuel Miranda referenced about going backwards and going forward, and as if they were being given something, but then it was being taken away, so it wasn't to their benefit. Also, as he shows that it's necessary to aid the Puerto Ricans, he gives them even a list of things that they need and what they're using the money for in order to basically justify why they need it and to be able to get the funds that they need to do so.
And when we get into strategies, that's a strategy in itself. It's like, in case you didn't get me yet so far, number 1, do this. Number 2, do that. Number 3, do that. Right?
Going off what Ariella just
Somebody's
said,
going to pick you one day, Laura.
the tone is urging and persistent, but also to a certain extent it's demanding. Like, he's giving feasible, rational ideas. Like, he's not throwing, like, from paragraphs 5 through 8, pretty much the rest of the article, he's giving ideas and his side of the political view about what should be done and what is being done. And especially in paragraphs 2 and 3, he's talking about the goodwill of the American citizens and how people are helping and there are things being done. But in a way, he's kind of pushing. He's saying it's good, but it's not good enough.
Very good. Let me...
Okay, so building off of what they said, I think the tone that like she said, paragraphs 5 through 8 convey, it's very candid because he's stating exactly what he believes Puerto Rico needs. Yeah, and what help they need from the United States that isn't being provided. So I think it's a very candid tone throughout.
Let me ask you, Laura, what's the opposite of candid?
I guess like timid, like holding back, I guess, sort of. Like not being open about what you think is right.
Kind of hidden?
Yeah.
Like a secret agenda or something?
Yeah.
Hindered. Good. All right. Yeah. Macy.
Like a lot of other people have said, they're not just sitting back and like wanting and expecting treatment, but like they're demanding it. And paragraph 3 says that the American citizens of Puerto Rico need, demand, and require equal treatment. And another example of how that isn't happening for them is the import tax. And it feels like a place in America like Texas or Florida, wherever there's been hurricanes and stuff, they get stuff really fast and there's no tax on anything. So that's the equal treatment that they're trying to get, but they're not.
Interesting, because the implication is correct. And you got to say, Texas, full of Latinos, right? Florida, full of Latinos, right?
It's within the country.
Puerto Rico, and then,
That's the problem.
and that's the definition. Is Puerto Rico within the country, or is it out of the country? You see, it's interesting.
So in paragraph 3, where it says there is no shortage of compassion and goodwill for Puerto Rico among the American people, but it must be matched by the recognition of our government that the American citizens of Puerto Rico need, demand, and require equal treatment. I think that his tone is very thankful to the American people, but also expectant and disappointed with the government because of how little they've done compared to just everyday citizens and what they've done to help Puerto Rico.
And like you're saying, CJ, it's very similar. When Maria said sad and somber, that's kind of like the disappointed tone you caught. You know, and a writer's not going to often keep the same tone. There's going to be a tone shift somewhere in there. That's good. Very good. Patty.
In paragraph 3, I was reading, like saying how Puerto Rico doesn't have the same amount of equal treatment as all the other states in the United States, and I was thinking it was like more of a serious and urgent tone because of him. Because Manuel Miranda wants he wants us to like recognize Puerto Rico for its struggles and saying that they need help and like we need to help them. We have to do something about it, and saying how we must do the right thing.
Very good. It's a call to action, or is it moral reasoning, right? Do the right thing. Very good. All right, and this is still tone, right? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
So in my opinion, there's two in the whole passage. One is didactic because he's trying to teach people and inform them that what he's saying about Puerto Rico is what they really need, not what they want. And
Very
he's
good.
trying to show that, and he's also trying to inform that the United States government isn't really helping Puerto Rico, while they're trying, but at the same time they're not, because with the tax implemented on the donation money that they got, it basically didn't help out. And the second tone would be vexed, and in that it's a
Vexed.
specific part, because it's when he's saying let's move quickly onto the 94 billion that they need. That's a highly debated topic, because 94 billion is a lot of money, and he's saying that they really need it. But then on the other side of the spectrum is, do they really need it? What exactly do they
Interesting.
need it for? And in my opinion, I'm on the side where, do they really need the 94 billion? Because that's like a real stretch compared to what they should really be getting.
That's great. Great point. Giancarlo. Oh, but I'll get you.
I said that Manuel Miranda I also said that he created an urgent tone because he's talking about the problems with Puerto Rico's economy and infrastructure and like the health of the people. So he's saying what the Puerto Ricans need to improve and what the U.S. government and the people need to do or can do to aid them. So like he's saying that the U.S. government needs to drop the 20% tax that from the money that they give, and then also about the health of them, because the death toll has been increasing. And then I also said that he also creates a motivational tone, because like throughout the article, while he's talking about these urgent things, he's also somewhat like encouraging American citizens to do what they can. So like he's giving names of federations and organizations, and he's talking about what they have done to help Puerto Rico. So I think he does that to motivate the readers to like look into these things and like donate to the good causes.
Oh, awesome. Very thorough.
So referring back to paragraph 1, I think he's using a sympathetic tone because when he states hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans on the island cannot do the simple things we all take for granted, he's like saying like the things that we take for granted they can't do. So he's using sympathy for the Puerto Ricans who can't do stuff that we can't do. I mean we can do. And then
Let me go back to that, because I understand what you're saying, and it's a good thought. There's a difference between these two words, sympathy and empathy. When you're sympathy, you kind of feel sorry for the people. Empathy, I'm with you, I feel you. I feel bad for you, but I'm with you. Which one do you think that is? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with sympathy, but sympathy is like, you're not really part of it, and you kind of feel bad. You're looking down on them in a way. All right, but that's empathy. And I knew you knew it. It was just a matter of getting the terminology right.
And then friends, paragraph 3, he says that we can march on Washington and I can write music and dedicate proceeds to Puerto Rico. He's patriotic because he wants to represent his country well, and he wants to make sure he do well for his own country.
I like that.
He wants to take action himself. So
That's very good. All right. You got one more.
I said that the tone would be motivational and have zealous because throughout the whole article, he's very enthusiastic about pushing the problem, like not on people, but like getting it out there. And I said it's motivational because, like Maya said, he keeps using words like our, we. He keeps saying Americans
Oh, great
to
spot.
get
Yes.
people to understand that it's like not just like a separate issue, and how he says it's a national conversation. And
And Jella, that is a choice you position your pronouns in a way that you bring we're in this together. All right, very good. And let me go to now